Good performance, man. Don't ever leave Chelsea. Never give up. Love the street, always.
Yes, people, welcome to another Chelsea live stream. Chelsea, well, usually I'm used to saying reviews and previews, but this is a unexpected stream. I personally feel it's at the wrong time. I don't think it's the right time to be talking like this from a certain player today. But it has come out. We will be, looking into it, analyzing it properly. My first initial thoughts on it was very, very bad. I do kind of now understand where he's coming from after reading some of the actual article, but I still believe it is the wrong time. I'm joined here with the co-host, Matt. Matt, how are you?
Yeah, I mean, Chelsea, is there ever a normal day?
No, there isn't. We have three of our starting defenders. When are they able to talk to other clubs? From Sunday, right? Or Monday?
Saturday.
Even worse.
What day is it? It's Thursday.
Today is Thursday, 30th.
Yeah, from Saturday. Friday night, technically. Friday night, 12:01.
Yeah. So three of our defenders can talk to any club. Pre-talks, initial talks. Aspi, Rudiger, Christensen, most likely going to Barcelona. So this whole club right now is going through a lot. And now today we have Lukaku's comments, which I'll be bringing up right now. First, we're going to be reading Fabrizio Romano's tweets before we go into the article. And then I want to hear some of you guys as well, your comments on this as well. I want you guys to like the video, subscribe as well, hit the notification, and tune every single day. And Matt is probably going to go all out on the board, I believe, top of my head. Correct?
Yeah, I've got a little bit of a. I'm going to bring some stuff up as well, and go through some stuff about how. I'll explain it in a bit.
Okay, so first comment come out, say physically I'm fine, but I'm not happy with the situation. Is that the first one? Yes, it is. Okay, so Romelu Lukaku to Sky Sport. Physically, I am fine, but I'm not happy with the situation at Chelsea. Tuchel has chosen to play with another system. I won't give up. I'll be professional. I'm not happy with the situation, but I am professional, and I can't give up now. He then also goes to say, I think everything that happened last summer was not supposed to happen like this. How I left Inter, the way I left the club, how I communicated with the Inter fans. This bothers me because it was not at the right time. Now it is the right time to share my feelings. That's where I question it. Is it really the right time right now to be talking? I have always said that I have Inter in my heart. I know I'll return to Inter. I really hope so. I am in love with Italy. This is the right moment to talk and let the people really know what happened. He also says, I really hope from the bottom of my heart to return to Inter, not at the end of my career, but when I'm still at the top level to win more together. I did apologize to the Inter fans. Time of my words were wrong. What he did for me remains forever. And then he retweeted it again for Fabrizio Romano, so he's trying to get out there. Now, what I do want to say about this one is, first, for me, the timing is wrong, in my opinion. And I'm kind of looking at the whole events of it. I'm seeing him deactivate Twitter. I've seen his agent talk recently. Now he's come out saying this. All three of these things for me add up, and it doesn't look right. So like I said, we've got defender issues at the back. Now we've got Lukaku. I was told he was first choice. I do want to put out there, I was told many times that we weren't interested in Haaland. We only wanted Lukaku. He was the first choice. If he was the first choice, Tuchel would know how to adapt his game right now. We shouldn't be in December struggling, guys. Honestly, we should not be struggling. This is my opinion, by the way, guys. You don't have to agree with me. Matt doesn't have to agree with me. But I just feel like it's the wrong time. And if he's talking about Inter, you guys were talking about if Haaland came, he will leave within 2 or 3 years. The way this guy is speaking, he'll probably do the same. He'll probably leave next year at this rate, the way he's speaking personally. So, listen, that is my first initial, reaction to this entire Fabrizio Romano tweets. Matt, what do you want to add to that, man, from your perspective?
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of sitting on a very on the fence bit. I don't want to. I've seen a lot of people saying a lot of things on the timeline that I'm sure if other information does come out, they'll probably regret, i.e. racism comments, kill Lukaku comments, and among others. So I'm going to keep very calm. I'm not jumping on it at the moment. I'm gonna wait. Let's see the bigger picture. There are this for me. The one question I come out, and I think Travis on Twitter said it perfectly. If Lukaku's coming out and publicly saying this, he can't be the only ones thinking that thing. If Lukaku is saying it with his chest the way he did, then he's not the only one in the dressing room thinking this. And my question is, who else is thinking that?
Probably defenders.
No, but I don't think it's just the defense. I don't even think it's just the defenders either. Who else is speaking like this?
The thing I want to add to this is, guys, I'm looking long term. By the way, I'm talking about
that's where I say look at the bigger picture. I'm not
the
looking
bigger picture for me.
These comments, I'm looking at the whole thing, and this is why,
bro. Even John Terry, like I know you guys might say it's too early and all this stuff. I just see this guy coming in somehow. I don't know where, but I just see this guy coming in. Whenever Tuchel goes, whether it's next season, whenever it is, I don't know. I just see John Terry coming in. Suddenly, he's been appointed at the club as well, one role. I'm looking at the big term. If Tuchel is struggling with these players right now in terms of the formation and stuff, and Lukaku's not happy with the situation, why is it taking until December for us to still be in this situation? Why? Why have we not changed it, man? Why have we not changed tactics? Why have we not gone forward at the back? Why have we not changed something? You know what I mean? Something is definitely wrong in the dressing room. I'm very, very worried for Thomas Tuchel. This is the first time I'm really worried, man. I'm really, really worried about Thomas Tuchel, man.
Yeah, I mean, just to answer in terms of why haven't we changed the formation? Because we simply don't have time. I mean, people think it's very easy just to go from a three at the back to four at the back, but these things take time. You at the moment where we're playing now, at the moment every 2 days, you've got people out of COVID, out of injuries. The way training kind of works is you have your rest day, you then have the day in the middle to do tactics on the next game, and then you kind of you're basically flying out doing the traveling to wherever the game is, home or away. So you don't have that. We don't have that time to work on a system. There is no time within the season to work on a completely different system. Because let's get right, whether it's a back three, back four, there is going to have to be some system changes as well. It's not going to be a simple change of formation, and it's different roles for different players. It's not going to be something you can just come in too easy. The only time you can do that is in the summer, in pre-season, which I always think is a problem for us because we have about 50 players coming, because then you can't really do that with 50 players. But there you go. That's another just issue with the board. There's loads of issues on top of each other, but we'll go through that later. But I just don't see. That's why I've always thought summer is the time when we will go into this kind of formation change, because there's no World Cup. You've got the whole summer to do it, whether it's not just pre-season, but the kind of post-season bit. People will say the players have a break. They won't have a break. They'll still work on it in a more theoretical aspect rather than it being on the pitch. But there'll still be stuff going on. But yeah, I don't know. I do worry, because I think if the board pull Tuchel out of this, we're done. There is no one out there, no one to get. I could challenge the whole comment section to put someone in there to see who would be able to replace. And I'm sorry if John Terry. I love John Terry. I love him to my heart. Captain, leader, legend, all that. Got a signed shirt up there of him, but I can't back it. I can't back it from the start.
Okay, just quickly. We had Christoph say Lukaku and Thomas Tuchel had a few chats over the last few weeks. He admitted early in the week. I think it was after the Villa game. Key will be when the interview with Sky Italia took place. It might be recorded a few weeks ago. Matt Lawson,
that's something I've been thinking about as well, because what even the Fabrizio Romanos of the world, everyone, because Fabrizio Romano goes on a couple of YouTube channels and acts like he's a fat people's journalist. All these journalists have this kind of effort that they'll wait for the right time. When's the right time to put an article out? There's no point of putting this kind of article out when Chelsea are flying high, because us fans are just going to go, nah, it's all right. Don't worry about it. We're 16 games unbeaten, whatever. It's when Chelsea are at their most vulnerable. This article could be cut out. So he could have done this when he was injured 5-6 weeks ago, which would make sense because he has more time to do it. So I think a lot of people were assuming this was done a couple of hours ago.
No. Definitely wasn't a couple hours ago. Definitely,
So
no way.
I think this must be weeks
But
ago.
Matt, I do have to ask. The Inter comments really annoyed me. I'm sorry.
I'm not annoyed with the first comment. The first comment, if I had £1 for every for a Chelsea fan that said we need to change the system, I'd be let's just say I wouldn't need the job, because a lot of people have said it. So I am not against that kind of thing at all. I do think it's a bit of the wrong words to say, but that again could be translation because it isn't from Italian. But as we've seen from the article that come out, but the Inter comments that I don't really understand. That's where I kind of sit back. I can't really defend. I have no words for it.
That's the bit I'm worried up personally, because he's like, oh, not towards the end of my career, in my prime years, basically. That's what he was saying. When the club have to verify these interviews, that's what I thought as well.
They don't. They technically know.
Wait, there's more.
Yeah, Jan said that this is first. No, but him saying first part, we know what Jan's like. It could just be normal stuff. They could have just talked about Lukaku and other stuff. So
facts. All you have to do is talk to your mate Alfie. Facts, blood. Had to get Haaland in, man.
I mean, all I'm gonna say is, if the system and the players are that bad, you think Haaland wouldn't be saying the same comments?
Yeah, but I was told Haaland will leave after 2 years.
But I'm I get that, but I'm saying that I reckon Haaland would be saying similar. Were you saying Haaland wouldn't twerk with other clubs if the system wasn't working? If he was stuck in the same position?
No, bro, we knew Haaland will leave after 3 or 4 years. We know that. It's like Hazard. His dream move would be to Madrid, for example. We know that. But Lukaku is not that guy. Lukaku is a top 3 striker in his prime when the system's right. But we're not playing to his system. Honestly,
I've said that for time.
But Matt, he's Papa Chels, I was told. He's Papa Chels.
What Lukaku basically said, I agree with. I think to get the best out of Lukaku, we need to get rid of some of these wingers for one, and I think we need more of a 4-back system. But there you go. People can go, oh Matt, you're not proper Chelsea for saying that, but it's the truth. And not multiple people on Twitter have said the same thing. But now Lukaku's actually come out and said it. People are digging him on that. I'm not digging him on that. I'm digging the part of, you want to go back to Inter. One, why do you want to go back to Inter? Inter are a dead club.
Exactly.
If he said Real Madrid, I'd understand it a bit more. But Inter, come on, set your standards a bit higher.
I feel like, we're going to find out a lot more when he leaves Chelsea about this entire move. I bet you he didn't even want to leave in the first place.
Yeah, but
I know they said that if the money comes in, he will leave, which the money did come in. But I genuinely don't think he wanted to leave in general. Like, I don't think he actually
at the same time, he can reject. He's not tied over the club.
But Inter were struggling, and they probably told him, please leave, because that's why he's saying, the time in my words, I couldn't say what happened to the fans. I couldn't explain it. I guarantee you, later on in life, that he will come out and say, Inter in a very, very difficult situation. They asked me to move, and I decided to help the club. That's it. That's what I generally think is going to be said. You're not going to hear these things live straight away. Everything comes out later on. We find out signings are made. They're not Lampard signings.
If that sort of thing is right, then that has just given another bolt to my issue with the board. I say issue, I'm done with the board, and I'll go through that in a little bit.
Listen, the board has to take big L's. I know we all love about positive net spend and shit. You know what? I'm not going to fall for this bullshit anymore. I'm not going to fall for this bullshit anymore. Okay, I've fallen for it. Because I'm bro, we're saving money.
In a bit, I'll go into some details of our business, and then we'll see. I'll show you how bad our board have been. Right. I mean, we're not Arsenal levels, but we can't
too far away.
We can't compete with this board. And I honestly, I don't give a shit what people in the comments say. If they want to go, oh, Marina's this, Marina's that, that's fine.
Oh wait, so who are you mainly blaming?
All of them. I mean, apart from Czech's just arrived. Czech ain't got much. I mean, I don't. As I'll say, the things Czech's done. He's done well, but generally the entire board.
Yeah, but Matt, like you're saying, if these guys are thinking like this now when it's coming out public, we've got a big problem. We've got a really, really big problem. And I think the manager has to always go in the end, whether that's at the end of the season or whenever. I don't know, man. You don't look good, man. You don't look good for me. You don't look good, man.
Well, I mean, if Tuchel goes, I don't know. I lose a bit of chill. I'm just done. I'm a bit done.
But then John Terry will come and he'll be like, yeah, cut to
No,
me,
honestly, I won't back it. I can't back it.
Did you say that about Lampard?
Lampard was different because it was a transfer ban. If it weren't a transfer ban, I wouldn't have backed Lampard either.
I'm actually worried, man. Because you know what the problem is as well? You know what the problem is? I'm not saying these youngsters should be world class and stuff, but we need managers to stay here for more than 2 years to get the best out of these youngsters, man. They're playing week in, week out. I know the basics not being done, but we need managers to be here for a long time. I've said it. Sterling, for example, was shocking at the start.
We were on a downward trajectory. If we didn't win the Champions League, we wouldn't be screaming.
Do you remember the mood? Do you remember the mood when we lost against Arsenal and what's his name? Leicester in the cup final? Do you remember everyone's mood on the stream?
Yeah.
Everyone was pissed. Everyone was like, we're not going to get top 4. Everyone was like, this, that. Bruv. Nah, man.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this is why I look at City and I'm like, I don't want to compare us to City at the moment because City are a well-oiled machine. Liverpool, well-oiled machine. We don't even put the oil in the car before we get rid of it. So I mean, we need to keep with this manager and trust him. We can't, and if that means getting rid of a lot of players, so be it. And if that means we have to wait a bit longer for a bit of success, I don't like it, but so be it.
Well, bit shocked still.
All our board want to do is just freestyle with transfers. Honestly, it looks like it's like this board. This board is it. Honestly, the only way I could describe it, it's like if I watched my 10-year-old play FIFA career mode. My 10-year-old cousin, if he plays FIFA career mode, this is where I look at Chelsea's board. No philosophy, no reasoning behind it, just freestyle, no vibes, no style, just vibes. We moaned at Lampard for no style, just vibes. That's the board. That's the board's philosophy. No style, just vibes. Oh, Havertz looks like a new toy. Let's get him. Oh, bring Rob back. Oh, yeah, great. Oh, Werner looks good. Oh, Ziyech looks good. Let's not care about how they're actually combine with each other. Let's just get a new toy in.
Well, there we have it, folks, man. Don't forget Saul. Bring back Saul.
Oh, don't even get me started.
Listen, guys, everyone tuned in, man. Like the video, subscribe if you're new here, hit the notification, tune in every single day. Let us know your thoughts on Lukaku's comments. Obviously, Fabrizio Romano, the way he's tweeted it makes it seem a lot bad, a lot worse. But it is bad. In my opinion, it is still bad for me. I'm very disappointed with the Inter comments personally. Whether it's recorded 2 weeks or 3 weeks ago, I get you're not happy with the system. I understand that. But I just don't think the way it's come out is... Obviously, I don't think he wanted it to come out at this moment. But still, it must have been recent, like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. And they must have told Tuchel that he's done an interview or something. You know what I mean? So, listen, some of you guys told me Lukaku is the only signing we needed. We didn't need anyone else. 10 out of 10 window. We can win the Premier League. We can win the Champions League. You lot told me a lot of things. We brought back Saul Niguez, world class on his day apparently, and yeah. Listen, Matt, just go all out, man. Let me hear some of these bold comments, man. Just
Well,
done. I'm just done. Why is it? It's just getting worse for us. It's just getting worse, Robbie.
I mean, let's go and have a look at this site properly. So, Sadiq, do you want me to get it up or do you want to do it?
Yeah, you do.
Okay, so let me get it up 1 second. Just talk about something quickly while I get my little website.
Okay. How did Saul replace Gilmore? No, I don't think he did. Still, Gilmore coming in will make it worse, man. I don't care how good he is. It's too small. 5'5" or something. That's shorter than Matt. That says a lot. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, he is actually shorter than me. I never
is
thought
he?
I'd say that. Yeah,
What are you?
5'7".
Damn, you're short.
I'm short.
How would you be a footballer?
There are footballers that are short that are good. Don't diss.
Just Kante. That's it. I don't know anyone else.
Yeah, exactly. I'm Kante.
Yeah, only Kante is something else. He's not human, bro. Like he's
Who said I'm human?
okay, mate. All right, mate. Guys, Holland in what? Holland in January. Holland is striker needed. Tammy and Broja upcoming. Tammy,
Oh, could people stop talking about Tammy? I saw that online.
the fuck?
No.
Tammy,
What people going on
Look-
about Tammy for?
you don't try to give me heart attacks. You're trying to give me heart attacks, man. It's crazy. Oh, what are you bringing up? You bringing up the website?
Transfer market. Just my laptop was bugging out.
Go for it.
So, if I could share the screen.
This is bullshit. Look at this comment. Following his extraordinary confession on Sky Sport Italia, it's reported Lukaku is pushing for a return to Inter, and Chelsea wouldn't be entirely against a loan deal.
Loan deal? What do you mean loan deal? That's troll. It must be trolling.
What the hell? Come on, man, guys. What are you talking about? Listen to this, guys.
I don't understand. I don't know what's going on here. It's lost the plot. It's completely lost the plot.
Big up Claude. Big up Claude. Rest in peace, my guy. What a guy.
Yeah. Someone said bring up Nazar's tweets. Okay, let's see Nazar.
Oh, what's Nazar said?
Let's see.
So anyway,
Okay.
I'll kind of go through this. Can you see my screen all right? Or
Yeah. Just give me a second. Let me share Nazar's on quickly, and then we'll get over it. Lukaku went on to test positive for COVID, and in-person interviews have been rolled back with Premier League since then. Maybe a clue that it was said a few weeks ago. Still, the tactics stuff would remain relevant. It doesn't sound good, but it could well have been filmed pre him getting COVID. It changed the tone. Around then, Lukaku and Tuchel have both spoke openly about the players' frustration at being held back after injury. Also, Chelsea were less in a crisis mode. That's what he said.
okay, well, yeah. I mean, it's kind of what we said. It was. We know it's probably been weeks ago, but yeah. I mean,
Zoom in
change
one or two more times.
Zoom.
I'll tell him to stop. Yeah, that's it.
So obviously, you guys talk about how we have such a great we do such great windows. Our board's fantastic. Marina's like the wizard, brilliant. Which obviously we can see at the bottom right. Net spend, we're green, which is great. Apparently, even though we're a football club, we're not a business. I don't care how my football club's run as a business. It's all about actually who we bring in. So let's have a look and see if our board are really good. So we'll go through all the. I don't really care about the selling because that's a completely different story. But we'll go through it. So Romelu Lukaku, the man we're talking about right now. You brought this guy in for, as transfer market say, 103.5 million. Didn't you discuss how the system? Surely, if you're spending 103 million pounds on a striker, and he's your first choice, surely you look at him and go, "Oh, we'll explain the system. We'll explain how you're going to play, and then make sure he's okay with that before you bring him into the club." No, do you not want to work like that? Is that not how we work? Is that we just bring players in, not let them know about the whole philosophy? Nope, thought so. Salniguez, we all know it's flopped. One of them ones, it's a loan fee, so you can't really argue. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Bettinelli, just a third choice goalkeeper, so I'm not going to make a comment on that. So overall, looking at that, bit of a failed window. We'll go back a season. One sec, because it will take a while to load now. So we're going into last season. So we'll go through it. Kai Havertz, 72 million. And honestly, outside of a Champions League goal, hasn't really done much. For £72 million.
I still back him, bro.
He could. I'm not saying he won't do anything, but at the moment, we've spent 72 million and he hasn't done anything. This is, again, another... It says attacking midfielder, but is effectively a forward player. So we've spent nearly 200 million at the moment and we've got no output at attack. Timo Werner, you've brought in someone who just... Again, it's the whole no style, just vibes. We look at this and there is no reason why he suits Chelsea. If you're going to play against 16 low blocks, you've wasted, again, another 50 million. Ben Chilwell. Ben Chilwell was, we all know, a Lampard priority signing. So, funny enough, it's the signing that's not part of the board that has success. Funny that. We're going to Hakim Ziyech. Generally, hasn't done anything of any note. Yes, he's been a bit unlucky with injuries, but has widely been a flop, quite lazy. And again, waste of 36 million because now you're not really going to get that back. Mendy, again, successful signing. So we're going, all right, we've got 2 successful signings in 2 seasons. Haven't gone to Thiago Silva yet. But again, Edouard Mendy was Czech signing, wasn't part of the main part of the board. Malang Sarr flopped. It's free transfer. So again, that's just sums up the board, another business signing. And then Thiago Silva. I mean, you can't really go wrong with Thiago Silva. That's just a no-brainer. Again, I expect my 10-year-old cousin to make that signing and do a good job of it. So there you go. So we've had, out of what you could class the board signings, 1 good signing so far. We'll go back further because why not? Let's go back right into to find a good board signing.
Just quickly, Matt Law says the interview was 3 weeks ago.
Okay, so just before he got COVID.
Yeah.
So now we're going into transfer ban vibes. Mateo Kovacic. Outside
we had to do it. We had to do it.
Yeah, we had to do it. But outside of a good first season, hasn't really shone, set the world alight. Christian Pulisic,
world class.
His business signing, had some good spells, but largely been injured. Again, maybe not his fault, but again, you can't really call that a successful signing. So,
well, to be fair, he brought money back.
Yeah, but we're not talking about money. We're talking about on the pitch. Again, this is not a business. This is a football club. And then we'll go
let's do the first one. No. I'm not going to blame him. I'm not blaming.
This is not any abuse on the. This is me not talking about the players. This is me talking about the board. So Kepa, a player that 6 months before this you could have got for £18 million. You decide to sign for a world record £72 million, and he works out being your second choice goalkeeper.
I can't blame the board,
guys. Let that sink in.
How can you
not blame the board?
I can't.
The board could have signed this guy.
It's
6 months before for £18 million.
It's Courtois to stay.
No, but you didn't have to go.
He promised he will stay.
You didn't have to go for this signing.
No, but he promised he will stay.
I mean, you don't go and look at this and go, oh, well, let's go pay 72 million for this guy.
Bro,
when he was
we were meant to sign
18 million before.
We were meant to sign Alisson, and Courtois said, I'm going to stay. And then he went off to do AWOL, bro. Like, what can we do? It's a big L. Like, don't get me wrong, but I can't fully blame the board like with the other side.
No, but you should have proper backups. Kepa was not a proper backup.
No, but obviously we want to spend less, but they said we want more money. We got to pay a release clause.
No, but there was no proper backup to Alisson.
No, Kepa was the backup, but he was a lot less value.
No, but they knew that.
No, listen. Kepa's second choice, but Kepa would have been a lot cheaper. But they said you came so late in the window, you want us to find another goalkeeper ourselves. You need to pay the release clause if you want him. That's it.
I mean, I'm not being funny. Even if we did do it early in the window, they would have. Athletic Bilbao would have just said we pay the release clause. They normally do because they want the most money. So we go into Jorginho. So Jorginho, sorry signing. I'd say he's done okay. Very polarizing, had good and bad seasons, but overall been, I don't want to be rude, but a bit average over his whole term. Higuain, don't get me started. Terrible signing, did absolutely nothing. Let's go back into
Matt, just quickly,
17,
did you know my streams back in 2018?
Yes.
Do you remember this classic one when I was on the rooftop when Sarri and Jorginho came and everyone was like, go and track his flight?
Yeah,
This
I
is
did
when
remember that.
Will was on
But yeah.
Will Rayner, PYS was on there back in the days when everyone was a small count. Look, when everyone was small, bro. Back in the days, people, memories. Oh yeah, good times. Sorry.
But yeah, so I mean, we've gone through what is that 4 windows now, and not one of them has been largely successful. And then, I mean, do I really need to go and explain?
But can we blame the players or can we blame the managers?
Again, I'm not blaming the players, and I'm not blaming the managers. We keep blaming managers, but we know managers don't actually. It's not actually manager signings.
Yes.
And there is one common denominator to all of these bad transfer windows, and that is the people upstairs. I'm not going to explain this window because we've explained it enough. All these signings speak for themselves of how poor they were.
Because right now we need Zappa Costa.
Oh, don't start with that. Morata. We were supposed to sign Lukaku back in this window, and if we signed Lukaku for this window, I reckon he probably would have been a success. But nope, we decide we don't want Lukaku. We decided to go in for Morata, who wasn't really an option for Conte. Didn't look like a centre forward that would ever do well in this league. I said from the beginning when he came in, I didn't think he would do well, but try and prove me wrong. Flopped. Timmy Bakayoko signed a player when he was injured. Never a good way to go. Waste of money. Danny Drinkwater, £34 million to fit an English quota. Waste of money. Rudiger, again, come off the back of an injury. I'd say I'd argue he's been a successful signing. Some people won't. Some people will say he's had one good season, but there you go. I think he's had a few good seasons. So this would be the first signing that I can go, yes, that's a successful board signing. And that is nearly 5 years ago. Zappa Costa, 22 million wasn't even a plan B. It was a plan C, plan D, along with Emerson. What's that? 40 million for the pair of them. Wasted. Olivier Giroud, that was a good signing from Arsenal for the price. Did a good job. Barkley, I won't insult him in front of Sadiq because Sadiq will get angry.
You can. He's world class, but go for it.
He's useless. Absolutely useless. Well, I mean, at the moment, Chelsea are trying to beg Everton to take him back. I think we need a refund. Go to international trading standards and make a complaint. We didn't get what was on the receipt. But yeah, Ethan Ampadu hasn't really done nothing, but that was a youth player. So there we go. We know 6, 17, 18 was bad. We'll go back. 16, 17. Let's see if this was a good window. This was Conte's first win. Oh. This is probably the window where you'd say we had the most success. So Michy Batshuayi didn't really work out. 35 million. He done well in a particular moment, but apart from that, did he ever live up to a £35 million price tag? Nope. Kante, I'm not going to complain. Kante was one of the best signings that have ever been to Chelsea Football Club. So this is the first one signing that I can say, well done to the board. But what I will always say is a broken clock is always right 2 times a day. So there you go. David Luiz, that was a signing that we had to kind of get because PSG couldn't afford pay us the money. So it was kind of we'll give you him for a reduced fee and you basically take him back and it will settle the book. So there you go. That was just a signing that we made.
Why couldn't PSG pay it?
Financial fair play issues. They were trying to balance the books. They couldn't sell off enough, so they decided to do a deal with Chelsea instead to almost sell the money off, so it wouldn't be on the books. So it was a bit of a strange signing because I remember it was towards the end of the window, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was surprising.
Surprising. And then Marcus Alonso.
He won us the league.
He won us the league first season. I'd say the first 2 seasons he's done well. Hasn't done well, I'd argue, since in terms of starting role. And there was a reason we bought Chilwell. But there you go. So that was a signing for a manager. I think this was the one window you could say is a success. But even then, it's 2 out. If you would count Alonso and Kante, that's 2 out of 4 signings that did well. Maybe 3 if you want to count Luiz, but that wasn't really a proper signing because it was all to do business anyway, so couldn't force it. So 15-16.
This one's worse. This one's actually worse.
See, we're getting so far back, and we're struggling to pick out a good transfer window. And this is supposed to be from a world-class Chelsea board. So Pedro, I love Pedro, so I'm not going to complain. I think that was a great signing. I thought he was a good servant for the club. Not too much money. Baba Rahman, let's get this right, guys. Baba Rahman for 23.4 million. I'm just going to stay silent because let that sink in.
I feel sorry for him.
Thank you, board. Wasting more money. God, I tell you what, if I was in a business and I was wasting this much money, I don't know. I'd get sacked. Begovic, substitute goalkeeper, did all right. Didn't do bad, didn't do good. Kennedy, young player, didn't succeed in the end, but sometimes it happens.
So remember someone said I'll take Kennedy right now. I'll take Kennedy.
Man, oh God, Jesus. Falcao. Board were looking back at one game where he did really well and then thought again, well, let's sign a player that's been injured. That because that really works. That's how a competent board actually does stuff. Failed. Michael Hector, useless signing. Matt Miazga, apart from bringing jesters to the Chelsea fan base, no benefit from that whatsoever. Nathan never played for the club. Dishaboji never played for the club. Pato, I liked Pato, but again, why are we buying injured players? It's a common denominator here, isn't it? Yeah. And just have a look. Mohamed Salah. We could have had him there, but no, we decided to go and get other players instead. But you know, now we're going to go to 14-15. Now this is where I stop because this is where we start getting successful. And funny enough, this is where a certain this is a window where there's a certain change because it wasn't Marina in charge at this point. It was who? Michael Emenalo. So funny that we start getting to a successful window when Marina's not here. So Diego Costa, great signing. Fabregas, Marv doesn't like him, but great signing. Cuadrado didn't work out completely, but I always thought he was actually all right for us. Felipe Luiz has always been a good player. Didn't work out at Chelsea, but I thought he played well when he was here. I didn't have a problem with him. Remy did a good job for us on the bench. Arguably, it's a bit too much money, but again, with what he did, wasn't too bad. But we won the league with this team. Drogba, fantastic signing behind to help us win the league in terms of a galvanising signing. If we want to go back to 13-14 while we're at it, just to have a look, see how the window was. I guarantee it's probably more successful than the previous windows we've just seen. Willian, Sadiq can tell you, good signing generally, did pretty well throughout his time. Matic, fantastic signing. We haven't had a defensive midfielder like him since, and we still haven't replaced him since he left. Schürrle, great signing.
I liked him.
I love Schürrle. Honestly, when people talk about Havertz is the best German we've had in a while, people forget about how good Schürrle was. Mohamed Salah speaks for itself, and Kurt Zuma did a good job. Was a young prospect. Van Hinkel, this one was a bit unfortunate because he got injured on the first day of the season, so that was just unfortunate. Atsu, all these are going into young players. Samuel Eto'o did all right while he was here. Can't complain.
No way, we signed Lukaku.
No, that was before. That was
I'm joking.
low. But yeah, so that is kind of the point I was making. So we're now going into windows, and suddenly the successful windows are the ones where Marina wasn't involved.
Positive net spend though, bro.
Oh, I don't give a shit about positive net spend. We don't need to. It's nice to have in terms of a business, but and for financial fair play. But we don't. Man City don't do positive net spends. Liverpool don't do positive net spends. Look where they are. I get you have to. I get. At some point, you have to be responsible because you can't just be a Barcelona and Real Madrid and spend silly money on Galacticos each season and make it unsustainable. But it's absolutely dreadful the way our board have been going on, and we each year. Oh, it's Mourinho's fault. Oh, it's Conte's fault. Sarri's fault. Lampard's fault. Tuchel's fault. Whoever the next manager is, John Terry, Ten Hag, because I imagine they're the two names people are going to talk about. It's going to be their fault in the future. No one is ever going to blame this board. Every time I mention any kind of type of board criticism, I get slagged off, whether it's Twitter, in these comment sections, and now I'm just done. Honestly, I don't give a shit what people say. I will argue it to the end of to hell and back. I will argue this and make the point. This is my time now to go and say that I am not happy with this board and that this board needs to go. Changes need to be made.
Who needs to go exactly?
Well, I think Marina, if she wants to stay, she can stay in terms of a point of view that she deals with sponsors and that sort of shit, because that is her only success. Her success is she's brought in sponsors with bigger money, such as Nike, Yokohama, Free, etc. We've got money. We've got increased amount of sponsorship money. So she wants to stay purely as someone as part of the business of Chelsea sponsorships. That's fine. She cannot be running transfers. She is not a football person. People say, "Oh yeah, she's really good at getting these cheap signings." Well, I don't think they've been cheap because every one of them's failed, and there's still reasonable amount of money we've wasted. We've wasted 200 million on attack, and none of them can score or fit a system. We've wasted plenty of money. I mean, the only signings that have been unwell are the ones that are actually not that much money. But there you go. But so people say, "Oh, that she's really good at buying players for cheap," but then we just stockpile Deadwood. Mate, we just got so much we got so much Deadwood there could be a fire at Stamford Bridge right now with all the Deadwood stockpiling up. And this is the problem. As I said, when a manager wants to do a new system with a team, how can he do it in pre-season when he comes back and there's about 60 players? Tuchel said this in the summer. He was like, "I'm not really too happy with the amount of players that I've got here, but we'll have to work it out." You can't do it when you've got... He had 4 different groups of players that he was trying to train on one training ground. I'm surprised Cobham's big enough to hold all these players, because we have so many players that come in, and it's ridiculous. We don't get rid of our Deadwood, which doesn't really make enough money for us to go properly spend. Yes, Chelsea perspective, the scouts are also poor. There is also an aspect where you need to look at the scouts, but at the same time, the board are the people that run the scouts. The scouts don't just run themselves. So you've got to look at people like Scott McLachlan. You've got to look at people like Marina, Bruce Buck. We've been since the European Super League, people wanted him out. So again, he can go. There is no, apart from Petr Cech, there is no one on this board that is a football man. No one. And I mean, the problem is people will say, "Oh, but give Cech the big job." Cech's not ready for the big job. That's why he hasn't. That's why he's he's performance director or whatever fancy PR name he is. But we need to get proper football. This is what people will talk about Ralph Rangnick right now. Why do you think we didn't go after Ralph Rangnick? Because they didn't want him in the board. They don't want him in the board. They want to do it all themselves. We need a football man like Ralph Ragnick. We need a football man like Van der Sar, Ajax, who's doing really well with that club. We need football people in the board. Even down at Brighton, Dan Ashworth worked at many different clubs in football director roles, done really well everywhere he goes. Why can't we have football people on this board? Why do we have to have businessmen, businesswomen? And that's where I go, Roman, sort your fucking self out. Yes, you've done very well for this club and you've taken us from the depths of bankruptcy, the depths that no club wants to be. But unfortunately, you have just put yes men to you and you're not running this club properly. Whether you like to say it. You got rid of Emanalo.
I disagree. I think our club is being run perfectly.
How's it being run perfectly, Niffen? We're wasting plenty of. I mean, you've bought a star striker.
We've got Timo Werner.
We've
got Timo Werner at this club.
Forget Romelu Lukaku.
Yes,
yeah,
and
we've got Lukaku and Timo Werner, bro.
Within 6 months, he doesn't like the system. Didn't you talk to? Surely.
Put up or shut up if I was him.
No, but the point is, I wouldn't surprise me the way the Lukaku deal went. Did the board even explain what the system was going to be like? Because I'm sure Lukaku wouldn't have been stupid enough to sign with this system.
What I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't make sense.
So this board is awful. Nippin, tell me when was the last time we had a successful window?
Before Nippin does, Nippin, how are you from yesterday? Are you okay? The fans want to know. The comments want to know if you're okay.
Big up, Nippin. Hope you're
fine,
right.
Man. I'm fine.
You get home safe.
You have dumb people you just have dumb people everywhere you go. It is what it is.
Well, you're okay though, yeah?
Yeah. Do you think a fan riot will change the board's mind?
No, I don't really agree on riots. What do you mean by riot? Protest or
like a protest?
But what? As good as the European Super League protest was, we had government backing behind that, so I think it was always going to collapse anyway. We just smelt blood. It's easy to change in something like that, but at the end, I always regard we succeeded in a way, but we didn't get Bruce Buck out, so we didn't fully succeed.
We don't get any of these yes men out.
No, because Roman will not get rid of them, and the problem is Roman's not in the country to get rid of them.
What will it take for him to get rid of them?
I don't think he'd ever get rid of Marina, because Marina was basically Marina. Her history is she ran all of his oil company back in the day. She's always been going through the ranks in his business, and he's always trusted her. So,
but let's say if you were a businessman, surely you would hire yes men too.
What do you mean?
Yeah, it's a good point. If you were in charge and you had people that will say you're the king, we'll do everything you say, would you hire them?
No, but what he's done with Marina is because now, especially where he's not allowed in the country, predominantly.
That's the thing as well. That's another thing.
He is literally given Marina the keys, and apart from a couple, probably 2 or 3 calls a year, he doesn't have any involvement anymore. He's like a silent partner now. And Marina, because he's trusted Marina before, in terms of his previous companies that have always been a success, he trusts him to do it. And business, what? And I mean, if I'm looking at it,
end up going. I don't want to compare ourselves to them.
Arsenal.
I'm just scared we'll end up going 20 years without a league title.
Nippin, if we have Vern at the club, it will happen. We have to improve.
Do you think we will, though?
No.
Not until we get football people on the board. Our transfer windows are so random. Absolutely random.
I said Haaland since summer, bro. You know me.
Do you think we will ever get football people on the board?
No.
No, not for a while. If say
I do.
I mean, who are we gonna get and when? How are we gonna do it?
Do you see Man United winning a title before us?
Probably not, because they're just as messed up at us. I just see City dominating it, because City
I
have
don't. We're
City
winning
have
it next season.
huh?
We're winning it after Pep leaves. Clip this.
We're not, because do you know what City will do? City have a plan. They have a board structure.
So
And
do
it's-
we.
No, do we have a board structure?
Yes, Marina.
Yes, and it's a terrible board structure. It's a business. Man City don't. If Tuchel was at Man City and Chilwell and Reece James got injured, they wouldn't look and go, "Oh, we might need to loan a player in January just to cover." They'll go, "You know what? We'll give you the depth so this issue doesn't happen again." Man City.
I think Tuchel will be backed in January.
He won't.
He will.
I guarantee we won't spend more than 30 million in January.
We'll spend
I agree.
100 million.
No, what are you
We
talking
will
about, Nipping?
Nip in. I will put £50 on this stream right now. Bet that we will not spend £100 million.
So when do you realistically see us winning the league? Forget about.
When you're not alive.
4 or 5 years, and that's maybe.
When you're not alive. Which is 50 years plus.
Honestly, you look at City. The way, as I was saying, the way they're
Look,
structured.
I don't care about the Champions League anymore. I want to win the league.
We're not going to win the league.
City's dominance.
We don't have the structure to win the league. We have a structure to win
do.
We
We won
don't.
it in 2017.
Yeah. And don't forget that was in the I back Conte and all that, but that was in a time where we were playing one game a week,
Yes.
and it was a lot easier. Next season is going to be a weird old league because we've got the World Cup. All these big teams that are going to come, players are going to come back in January or whenever the World Cup actually ends, and they're going to be completely shattered. I think City could scrape it, but I don't think a big six team is winning it next season, because no one knows how these players are going to come back from the World Cup next season. I don't think I wouldn't be surprised if a non-big six team wins the league.
So, like you're saying, like a West Ham or a Tottenham, basically.
I mean, I would count Tottenham as a big six team, but because they have a lot of players, someone like maybe a Leicester. Leicester don't have many players that go out to the World Cup.
Kasper Schmeichel.
Yeah, but they don't have Chelsea have an entire Chelsea have 16 players.
Yuri Tillemans.
Yes,
Nipping.
they don't have like a whole squad.
Nipping. You're being annoying, bro. You're being like father. Let's be realistic.
I'm sick of City's dominance.
When is it going to end, Robbie?
But that's the thing. That's what I'm saying, Nippin. Their board is so well done in terms of football board, not a business board, a football board, that they probably have the man that they want to replace Pep already done.
And I bet it'll be. I bet it's going to be a cock-up.
It's not. It'll be a like for like philosophy switch. I reckon the person they've got is probably someone like Ten Hag or Nagelsmann.
They're not. It's going to be a drop in form.
Of course, there's going to be some sort of drop, but there's not. But with the squad that
And
they've
they're
got,
capitalizing on it.
oh, with the squad, we're not going to capitalize on it.
Real talk. I'm going to ask you, Matt, because
Why not me?
Because Sadiq, you've already said we're going without a league title for as long as Arsenal.
Okay.
Probably longer. Matt, do you see us overtaking Liverpool? Do you see us winning the league title before 30 years?
Depends on if we change structure of the club. We might get one. Then we may get one year where we do really well and win the league, like a Conte.
It's quite worrying. It's going to be 5-6 years.
We can't go through I've said it's all right going through this manager merry-go-round when it works, but it's getting to the time where in the last few years we have stuttered. Yes, we've won stuff like Europa League and Champions League, which has been very, very
Smooth,
surprising. And it's been soothing it, but we've stuttered over the last 3 managers. Yes, the transfer ban was in the middle of that, which I understand, and I understand that has issues with it. But we've stumbled on Tuchel, and honestly, Nippin, I'll ask you this: if we sack Tuchel now, who is there to get? Who
We're
can
not going to
really
sack
take?
him.
No,
We're not going to sack him. The board surely has a job to sack Tuchel when there isn't a new manager available.
his star signing is unhappy with his system 6 months in, and as I said to Sadiq, if Lukaku's saying it out in public with his chest like this, there's obviously not just one person. There is multiple members of this squad that are unhappy with this system because
He's not
Lukaku
going to
would.
get unless
Lukaku would,
there's no one who's going to take over. He's not getting sacked.
no, but I don't trust the board. I trust. I will look at the board and go, someone else, they'll look at someone else. But who
They
is there?
won't.
Is there anyone out there that can take Chelsea to the next level?
No.
So that's where
Yes.
I said we will
Yes.
fail. If we sack Tuchel, we will fail.
I just don't want to go 30 years without a league title. I don't want to become the next Liverpool.
I honestly, I don't think we will do that. I think there will be, we'll probably get a lucky season where we will just do it, and then
I
we'll
just
drop
don't
again.
want a lucky season, though. I want a season in which we compete, not which we walk. I don't want a lucky season. I want a season where we actually deserve it.
We need to. I know this is going to sound like buzzwords, PR words, project words, but we do need to build a project and build a philosophy. There is no philosophy at this football club. We go from Conte style 3 at the back.
I'm loaning myself abroad until the board sorts themselves out.
The board need to sort themselves out. They need to get a football man on this board. Until they get a football man
Do you think
on this
they will,
board.
though?
No, they won't, because
Why?
they like it the way it is. And because what happens is Chelsea fans are so fickle, every time something goes wrong, they go straight for the manager or they go straight for a set of Deadwood players to argue about. When was the last time Chelsea fans actually complained about the board in a substantial period of
Rory
time?
Jennings.
Complained about the
Rory
board.
Jennings.
Do you
That's
think
bad.
anything will change if we complained about the board?
Rory Jennings, the only guy that has come up publicly full out at them.
Yeah, that's saying something. Roy Jennings is an idiot, but it's the fact that, again, an idiot can be right twice, a broken clock.
Maybe people
twice,
will look, since it's raw, look, they're not going to listen to us because we're not big.
Yes,
They're
we
not
are
listening.
big. Who you saying
We're
that we're not
WorldWideChels.
big? We are all big. We're
As
all
in,
big.
like, we haven't got as many subscribers, as many.
Yes, we do.
Out.
Yes, we do. Who are you to say we're not big? We are huge.
Like how? Look.
You've
people
got
won't
2K.
listen to us because we don't have the clout that
We don't
Rory
need the
Jennings.
clout. We're still big. We're one of the biggest people in the world.
But do you get what I'm trying to say, though, Sadiq?
No, I don't.
Matt,
Say it again.
do you get what I'm trying to say, though?
No. Say no.
No,
Say
but
no.
no. It's not about one particular big account saying it. You need, as a fan base, united. And the problem is,
And maybe since he said it, more people will listen.
look at United. Look at Arsenal. They've been trying to do it for years. Look at Newcastle. Newcastle had the most obvious worst person ever, and it took them years to get rid of the board, because the problem is, and you see it with Chelsea fans, we are so tribal and so fickle. There's so many different tribes of people out there. You can't get a fan base united to challenge a board.
Do you
Arsenal
think-
fans can't do it.
How long
Tottenham
before
fans
the board
can't do it.
change? How
Man
long will it
United
take
fans
before
can't
the
do
board
it.
change?
I don't see the board changing anytime soon.
Does that mean we'll never win the league again?
Whilst you're alive,
Until we-
yeah. 50 years.
As I said, we might get a lucky one.
No, when we actually deserve it. Forget
No.
lucky. Forget when other teams are
No.
off form.
No.
No, honestly, no. I am.
We are finished. We are the new Arsenal.
No, we're not.
Yes, we
I
are.
We're not that.
refuse to believe
we're not that bad yet. 'Cause at least-
Look, guys, listen. 2 things I want to say. First, like, let me say both points. First one, I said Haaland and Hakimi, and I would have said, listen, there's ambition there personally. Second one, Arsenal won a couple leagues, then they got to the Champions League and they lost the final, and then they disappeared. Can you see the sequence now? We won a league, we won a Champions League, and now we're not winning. Do you see the cycle? We could be the new Arsenal people.
I don't believe you.
Why? It's happening. 5 years, no Premier League.
Hey, Nippin, apparently you sound like Ty.
Yeah.
Good. He wants what's best for he wants what's best for Arsenal.
Does he?
He wants to be back up there.
But it's been 15 years since they've been up there. When is it going to end, Robbie?
It will. It will end. We are going to get a new board.
Okay, listen.
We're gonna get football
I think you'll get married before we win the title.
Yeah.
We're going to get a new board. Trust me.
No, I think you'll get married before. Have you found someone yet?
If Petr Cech had the job Marina had, would we be better?
Can you answer my question first? Will you be getting married soon?
No.
What,
The
in
board
India?
will check before I get married.
When you get married?
Not sure yet.
How old are you?
28.
Do you want to get married soon?
Until I find the right one, no.
What, in India or in London?
I just want to. I will not be satisfied if we win the league when other teams are off form. Just put it that way.
We're talking about you getting married. You're talking about top four.
I don't want. I don't want to. No, top four isn't good enough.
Yeah, big up Nippin on that. Top four is not good enough.
Fourth is third loser.
Hey, Nippin using my thing from last night.
I got that phrase from.
Well, I said it last night.
Big
Second
up.
place, but there you go.
Big up the person who I just mentioned.
Why?
He talks straight facts.
All right, guys. Listen, I'm probably going to end it. My man, is there anything else you want to add? We had a quick hour.
Well, I've listed a lot of truth bombs. A lot of people are not going to agree with it because they will back the board till they die for some reason. Because Marina is a goddess. Bruce Buck is there.
Let him speak, please. Let him speak.
They love Bruce Buck for some reason. They have a weird fetish on Bruce Buck, but there you go. And we need football people on this board now to actually get good transfer windows in because, as I've said, we've not had a good transfer window since Emanalo left. And that sums it up for you. We need to change things. And my advice to people, as one more thing, I see a lot of stuff on Twitter right now where people are saying Lukaku is making me racist. People saying they want to kill Lukaku. Yes, he said some bad things and they're not good, but people need to calm down with some of their comments because that's not acceptable in any sort of case.
Yeah.
So I would say while the news is very early and we don't have the full information, I would say for people just to calm themselves a little bit, take a night off, go watch Man United lose because I know they're playing now and hopefully they're losing. So go watch United lose and just calm down, get off the screen, and none of this racial shit.
Yeah, just quickly, I want to say, Thompson Jones. I don't think you'll ever get onto me, ever in life. But Nippin, you do have a new bodyguard because he thinks that I'm trolling you for some reason. Can you tell him that I'm like your best friend?
Sadiq's not trolling me, mate, but I'd be more than happy for you to be my bodyguard.
Yeah. What do you see me as? What do you see me as, Nippin? What do you see me as? Your best friend, good friend? What do you see me?
A friend from the Chelsea community.
That's it, just a friend from Chelsea community, not best friend.
I don't have best friends, Sadiq. I don't have best friends. I don't.
That is true. There should be a hierarchy of friends.
You invited me to your house, though.
Huh?
You invite me to your house on our close friend.
I did. I
On our close.
I did. I invited a lot of other people as well. I don't have best friends, City. I just have friends.
You hurt me, man.
I know.
You hurt me.
I'm
You
sorry.
hurt me, Nipin. You hurt
Huh?
my feelings. You hurt my feelings. Who you chatting to? Your future wife? Who you talking to?
Nobody. Just scrolling through the idiot stuff going on.
Oh, you hurt me, man. Nipin, you hurt me. Nipin.
I didn't hurt you.
I'm meant
Just
to be
because
your best
I
friend.
don't have best friends.
I'm meant to be your best friend.
But I don't have best friends, City.
It's okay. Nipin, he's just trolling.
I'm meant to be your best friend. Baba G. Okay. Alright, guys. Right up the lights, man. Matt, thanks for coming on. Nipin, look after yourself. You should be on Monday Night Football, according to some of the comments. You got a fantastic analysis. Nipin Sharma, well done. And yeah, we'll see you soon.
Yeah.
Any last words, Nipin, for the stream, for the comments?
The future is bright.
that doesn't sound satisfying.
The future is bright for Chelsea Football Club.
Thank you. Matt, any last words?
We're going to get the right personnel in. I'm sure of it.
Okay.
People
Matt?
just need people back to call. We need this project to keep continuing. And unfortunately, what we need to do is put pressure on the board.
Yeah.
I don't think it will happen because we're too tribal.
I
We're too
do.
stubborn. We're too busy arguing who's worse at Pulisic and Cho to bother even considering talking about the board.
I think we will, though, talk about the board.
Yeah, we will. Nipin, listen, I need to end it, man. I got so much work to do. I'm not even meant to be streaming right now. I've got so much work. Some of us have to work in life. We're not rich, we're broke. I'm struggling. So, yeah, guys, I'll catch you a lot soon. Maybe we need some Loftus Cheek.
Good performance, man. Don't ever leave Chelsea. Never give up. Loftus Cheek, always.
Maybe we need him. Maybe that's a missing piece with Chelsea. Ted Kravitz.
Nah, I love. Actually, Joe, bring Ted Kravitz in the board. He could do. He'd do a better job.
Guys, take care, man. Pavan, I can't believe you're 45 minutes late. But is what isn't it? Big up everyone else. Like the video. And we'll catch you a lot soon. Nipin, say goodbye to the fans, man. That's a hand gesture. Can I have some words, please?
Big up yourself, man. Big up everyone in the chat. And subscribe to WorldWideChels.
I might use that for my intro from now on. Peace.